story from this morning that I want to tell you guys, and then a takeaway that I want you to really think about today and as you go throughout your week, your month, and your year. So I had a just short recovery run today. I was planning on 2 to 3 miles, 20 to 30 minutes, somewhere around there. And as I started getting ready for my run, I had already had breakfast. I was properly hydrated. I got a ton of sleep last night. I literally went to bed a little before 8 p.m. I was setting myself up for success, not only in terms of this run, but for my day. I warmed up. I got some strength training in. I was feeling completely ready for my run. So I didn't really have a set time until I realized, okay, yes, today is the first of the year, first day of 2023. I had seen Heidi on Instagram who ran 20.22 miles yesterday, and I was like, that's awesome. I love having fun with running. The past year and a half of getting back into running has really taught me that. I had to really change my approach to running by removing all expectations and pressures of my past performances and recognize that this is my new chapter. And although I had amazing accomplishments in 2019, 2018, I can't compare myself to then. And yes, I can achieve those things again, but it's going to be by taking a different path and by changing some things, but I'm also going to surpass those things. So I was like, okay, 20.22 miles is amazing. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm sticking to my easy recovery run today. And I was like, well, I could actually do 20 minutes and 23 seconds for my run. So I decided I was going to do that. Was completely present in my run. It's absolutely gorgeous. It was foggy this morning, so we actually have hoarfrost over all of the trees, all of the bushes, everything, like our garden fence, everything is covered in frost. And I had a very mindful run. I was grateful for the ability to run today. 2 years ago, I was walking, was not able to get my heart rate up, was not able to do the things that I am able to do today. And just extremely grateful and present in the moment for my entire run, taking in the beauty around me and really appreciating the things that 2022 taught me and all the lessons that I learned and what I'm going to carry forward into 2023 and going forward. So I get home right at 20 minutes and like 15 seconds, and I'm running just a little bit further to my driveway, watching my watch to push stop at 20 minutes and 23 seconds. And I thought I did. When I looked at my watch, it said 20 minutes and 24 seconds. And I'm just this split second disappointed that it didn't stop on 2023. And then I pulled myself out of that just split second of disappointment and recognized, no, this is what one of the biggest lessons that I learned in the second half of 2021 and all of 2022 was to remove all emotion and expectations and the association to numbers. Numbers are data points. Numbers can be very helpful, but they can also be a big disservice to not only your training, your running, but your entire life. And I had to work extremely hard to overcome performance-based perfectionism in my comeback to running. And that's the number one thing that I knew I needed to fix if and when I was going to get back to running and how I was going to enjoy it again. So removing those expectations and pressures from prior performances and numbers and all of that. And the past week and yesterday and today, I'm seeing a lot of stuff about mileage. How many miles you ran in the month, in the year, highest month of running, highest year of running, which is awesome. But remember that it's not just about the numbers. It's not just, for me this morning, running for 20 minutes and 23 seconds and ending with my watch that said 20 minutes and 24 seconds. It's about the lessons that you learned in 2020. It's about the things that you accomplished and the things that helped you get to that mileage. Because someone can run 200 miles a month and do it injury-free and do it right by strength training and fueling your body and doing all these little things that I emphasize in my training, in my coaching, in my life. But someone can also run 200 miles, 300 miles, 400 miles in a month and do it the wrong way. They can do it not fueling their runs, not prioritizing strength training, running on extremely low amounts of sleep, running with lots of stress in their lives outside of training. Like running alone is stressful enough. So when you add those stressors in from your life, how is that playing into your training and your running? And is that too much of a stressor? Okay, so yes, there is a right way and a wrong way to do certain things in training. And if you are solely focused on mileage, if you are solely focused on pace, if you are solely focused on this tunnel vision time goal, you have to take a step back and remember your why. Why do you love running? Why are you training for a certain race? Why are you pushing for a certain time goal or pace goal or distance? There has to be greater meaning behind that instead of just picking a number. Like for someone who comes to me and says, I want to run a marathon in this time, I have to take a step back and think about, why do you actually want to run that time goal for that distance? There has to be greater meaning behind that, and there has to be strategy behind it. So instead of just looking at the numbers in 2020, the mileage that you ran, the paces that you ran, the distances that you ran, the PRs, what lessons can you take out of those races, out of those higher mileage months? Like, what were you doing to set yourself up for success? And really celebrate those lessons that you learned and take them into 2023. Because if life continues to hand you this lesson and you aren't learning from it, life is going to continue to hand you that lesson until you actually learn from it and do something with it. Like knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. We know that we need to fuel our bodies well and strength train and do these, what I call all the things in running. We cannot just run in order to stay injury-free, in order to be healthy, in order to thrive in life and to support your body in running, in training, in your races, in your runs, in your strength training, in your daily life. You cannot just run. You have to do all these things. But what is the ultimate goal? Why are you doing these things? And how can you support your body by doing these things? Like, you have to remember that a number is just a number to a certain extent, and you have to have meaning and a strategy behind all these things. So take my example of wanting to run for 20 minutes and 23 seconds today and having that slight disappointment of hitting stop when I thought it said 2023, but it actually said 2024 when I looked down at my watch, and recognize that numbers do not define you. You need to find something greater and a greater purpose than getting your identity wrapped up as a runner, as someone who's running a set pace, a set number, mileage, whatever it is, and take those lessons and apply them to your daily life, apply them to your training. And again, just recognize that numbers are not everything, and you need to take this greater holistic approach to training by focusing on these little things that add up to big results. Okay? So take that lesson and go into 2023 fueling your body, prioritizing strength training, making sleep a priority, and doing these little things that are going to help you in your running, but also in daily life.